Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am so excited for this video because it is a collaboration with Heather Austin. We have both done a collaboration, created an eyeshadow palette with Adept Cosmetics, and we decided it would be super fun to do two looks combining both of our palettes. So we're going to be using my AMYLOVES eyeshadow palette and the Heather Austin palette. Heather's palette, you can tell, is very, very well loved by me. It's like this grungy gorgeousness. You've got so many beautiful shimmers, and I feel like there's just so much variety happening here. It's just a stunning palette, and for a long time, it was my favorite eyeshadow palette from Adept Cosmetics. Of course, I'm biased that my palette's my favorite now, but this is such a good one. And then my collaboration is definitely more on like the cool tone, glam side of things. It's like, let's do some cool tones, but also have it be really, really fun kind of vibes. So we decided to put our palettes together and show you guys some different looks that you can do if you own both of these. And I'm really excited as well because we did time this out for a restock of the Heather Austin palette. This will be available for purchase, and my collaboration with Adept is of course available for purchase as well. And I'm also going to be using my face palette during the video. So if you want to see the looks, definitely make sure to check out Heather's video. She will be linked down below. If you're not already a fan of Heather, you are missing out 100%. She's such a warm, beautiful person, but she's also got that Southern charm, and she just keeps it real. I've met her a few times now in person. Very happy to consider her as my friend. Highly recommend. I don't want to keep blabbering on and on. Let's go ahead and jump on into the looks. I already used the Anastasia eye primer to prime my eyes, and I'm going to start off with the Heather Austin palette. For this look, we're going to use the shade Mythology all through the crease. It's one of my favorite like yellow grungy shadows ever, so I'm excited to use it today. Just picking up a little bit because it is very, very pigmented, and I'm going to go ahead and just throw that through my entire crease and then slightly buff upwards. Just building up a little bit as I need, and I'm leaving a little bit of space in the outer V just to go in with something a touch deeper. I'm going to pop into a little bit of 1997 now from my palette, and I'm going to use that in the outer V, throwing it down and buffing it into the yellow. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop there for my depth, but you could definitely go into scrunchy if you wanted it to be a little bit more dramatic. I'm just making sure that's blended together. I'm also popping a touch of 1997 on the lower lash line, just on the outer third. Okay, now going back into the Heather Austin palette, I think I'm gonna go into a little bit of Smith on the middle of my lower lash line. Actually, I'm doing that basically on everything that's open. Still bringing it all the way to the inner corner. I think I'm gonna take a touch of Video Chat now. Just popping that on the outer third of the lid. I got a little carried away. The outer third quickly turned to the outer half. But lastly, let me wipe off my fingers. They're very messy right now. I'm gonna go back into the shade Caramel. I really thought it'd be fun to use this with these like grungy warm tones just to bring out the slight golden tone that's in this. I feel like when you see it right there, it looks silver, but then obviously next to Sunny, it looks more gold. It is a very, very interesting, fun neutral shadow. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that on the front of the lid and then blend that into Video Chat. Okay, that is super, super pigmented, so I might even go back into just a touch more Video Chat right on top just to make sure we're not losing that shade. Just blend them together. And then I might just go back into a little bit more of Mythology, that yellow, and just bring that right through the crease again, just because I love that color and I don't want to lose it in this look. So just re-intensifying it a little bit. I'm gonna grab a brush that is almost clean and just slightly go over that edge just to make sure it's nice and soft. And then one last time back into 1997 with a very thin brush from Singe Beauty. I'm just going to pop that along like my lash line for a little more definition. Typically I would use a liner brush for this, but I don't know where I put mine. I'm gonna go into some of the Lancome Tante Idole mascara just really coat my lashes. For blush for this look, I'm gonna go into the shade Cupid from my blush palette. Just grabbing that on a big powder brush and just lightly wisping that over my cheeks. Then for lips, I'm gonna go into L'Oreal Beige Eden. So there's the first look, definitely a little bit more grungy, but I feel like it's a fun combination of both palettes. I try to make it my usual style where it's still fun, but also a little bit more on the subtle side. So let's go ahead and jump on into the second look. We are going to be very, very colorful in this one. I'm super excited. So I'm gonna start off with a shade from my palette, which is called Mi Amor, and it's definitely the most colorful matte. So I'm gonna be throwing that through my crease. Obviously, I'm only doing 2 looks today. I'm so curious to see what combinations Heather ends up coming up with, but I feel like you could use Mi Amor with a lot of different things in the Heather Austin palette to change the vibe up, and she's also got really pretty purples. You could do a combination of, I'm kind of just laying this down first and then starting to buff it out. But I have a very, very specific look that I want to go for today. So that was my focus, but I think they'd be so cute. I also recently did a look combining my palette with the Cyber Choir palette. I loved that. I did it for a concert and I thought it was so cute. So again, I'm mostly just keeping this right in my crease and I'm leaving a little space towards the outer V because we are going to very carefully go into the Heather Austin palette and we're going to be focusing on this green right here called Magnolia. Yeah, on a pretty small brush, and I'm going to pop that in my outer V. It's going to add some depth to this look and also add a little bit more color. So pretty. Just building that up a little bit. I'm going to go in with a little bit more of Mi Amor just right on top of the crease. I'm also going to use Magnolia to connect along the lower lash line just a little bit. I think I want to use the shade Austin on my inner corner. Such a beautiful sparkly shade. I might even apply a little bit more with my finger just to make it even more intense. Like, look at that. For the rest of my lower lash line, I'm gonna go into, maybe let's use some of lavender. It actually blends together really well. And then lastly for the lid, I'm gonna go into Pisces. So that was my original plan. Pisces is such a pretty shade. It has like periwinkle beige, green. I just thought Mi Amor and Magnolia would be so, so pretty with this. So popping that on. So beautiful. I feel like these shimmers all look so stunning together. I just want to keep adding. Ooh, I feel like you could even go in with like a little bit of Passport. I'm just going to grab like just a touch because I can't help myself. Just a little bit of that on top. Look at that. Someone needs to take this palette away from me. I go into Scrunchie now to add some depth to the lash line. I also think Scrunchie would be really pretty on the outer corner of this look as well if you wanted to make it even more smoky. And then just throwing on some mascara. To complete this look, I'm going to go into Mishka this time. I got my hair stuck to it. I love this blush so much. And then I'm just going to take a touch of Athena on a fluffy brush and throw that right on top. I like to tap it down, you know, mainly where the highlighter would be, and then I just blend it fully into the rest of the blush just to get a really glowy cheek. For lips, I'm going to go into one of the new Maybelline lifter glosses. This is the shade Ice, and this was part of like their firecracker display. It looks like such a pretty, super soft baby pink. It is very sheer though, so it mostly just looks like a clear gloss on me. So there is the completed second look. The shimmers look so pretty, so shifty. It just looks like magic on my eyelids, but you truly cannot go wrong with any of the shimmers in Heather's palette, in my palette. Like, Adept shimmers are just above and beyond. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, Heather's video will be linked down below. Definitely check out her looks, send her some love, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye!